Of course, but listen, we're talking top-level football here. A foul throw is not acceptable. It's just not. But listen, it ends up being a goal through, obviously, Ben White. Brilliant from Joe Linton on this side. Listen, he has been a revelation. He really has. But I think an interesting thing is there's a couple of things Ben White's involved here. I'm just seeing that he just drops a little bit deeper than Gabriel. He just wants to step up. And the problem is, he's now in a foot race and he's not going to win it. So he's that yard or two behind. And that's one. I've been in that position. I think he's got to go for it. There's now a positional point that this frustrates me a lot. And I think a lot of teams do it now. Maybe it's the modern way. And I'm talking about centre-backs now. Now, for me, if that's me, the way I was brought up, forget the man, you fill that space. And then Gabriel comes over and he takes Callum Wilson. And the reason it frustrates me when I see it is because if Joe Linton has a look up, he will not make that run if he sees someone filling the space. Now, I've spoken about to different coaches, and some coaches like the centre-backs to be in the middle and not move, and they build from there. I don't. I really don't like it. And I just think, for me, Ben White has got to get across, fill that position. You don't want El Neni in the right-back position. But listen, again, from the Newcastle point of view, it's a great cross-in, and that's where I do have sympathy with Ben White.
Here? Does he have to lunge in like this?
I think because the cross isn't right out wide, he's almost on the edge of the box, so it's a lot closer to him. There's not that much time to think. You've got to make your decision so quickly. What are you going to go for it? And I think it's very difficult in that situation to actually leave it and not go for it as a defender. It really is.
What's your take on this, Gary?
I mean, I completely agree with Cara. I played centre-back a few times. You get across, it's like that piece of string. You're all on a piece of string. You come across together. You don't leave that channel. But I've got another view on it from a full-back's point of view. Cedric did this against Tottenham the other night, all night long. He kept jumping forward to Sessegnon. You only jump forward if you think you can pressurise the ball, block the pass, intercept. Why'd you go forward there? Why does he run out so quickly? And look what he does there, Cedric. He goes out, and he can never really affect it. He's running absolutely miles to get towards Saint-Maximin. Now, I know he's got a problem with Saint-Maximin, and to be fair, Tomiyasu did before, but then he then just steps off him. And I just think the art of back four players, your back four stays together. I agree with Cara completely. If Cedric goes, Ben White has to go. But to start with, if you can't get there, just keep your back four in, back four in tight, your back four together. The big switcher players come, they've all pressed over to one side for the throw-in. It's got switched over. Just stay. Just stay. You all got to stay together. And Arsenal, to be fair, they were doing that against Tottenham the other night. Cedric was leaving, holding in that channel against Son, causing the problem. He's left White in that channel tonight. They tried to deal with it in a different way. Look, when I first came out of football, I played in a football club, to be fair, that if you made that mistake and you, to be fair, slid in like that, it was bad defending. If you gave an own goal away like that through a deflection like this, it was your fault. We hear a lot, commentators, co-commentators, fans, pundits say, oh, he's unlucky there, he had to block it. The reality is usually you've made a mistake in your positional sense not to be able to get to that first post. You think about John Terry, yourself, great defenders that always got to that near post area. I always remember John Terry getting to that near post area, always being cemented there so that pass couldn't go across the line. I just think Ben White there, he steps up initially and then he just can't get back in. John Terry, I don't think would have stepped up. He'd have gone back in. I'm not harping back to sort of yesteryear, but the best centre-halves, you see Diaz, you see Van Dijk, they're always blocking that ball at the near post.
Is there something in his actual feet? Because he goes with his left foot.
Do you think he looked fit tonight?
No. No. No, I think it was a tough game for him to come into. Honestly, such a massive game for him to come into. I don't think he was himself. I think balls were getting played in behind them all night. They never coped with it. Like I said, at half-time, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt because they got through a difficult period. But to be honest with you, they've been well beaten tonight in performance levels. They've been out-fought.